Salutations, and welcome to Reading with Drew. I'm Drew, and I'll be reading today this wonderful book. It's called DogBreath Victorious by Chad Henry. And we are going to read Chapter 9. So, let's dig in. Sergeant Ratchet, this very muscular, mean-looking Caucasoid police sergeant person, parked herself in front of me, hands on her hips. Officer Waters, an athletic sort of Africanoid police person, came around the front of the cruiser, stuck her foot up on the fender, punched in numbers on a cellular telephone, and started talking into it. The police car radio belched out loud fragments of static and butcho voices. "Let's see some ID," Sergeant Ratchet repeated. "We didn't do anything wrong," hollered Ziggy. "This is just another fascist American plot to curb the freedom of today's youth. Are you going to read us our rights? What was our crime? Being young while running?" "Yeah, that's right," said Sergeant Ratchet. "Being young while running, ha! Now let me see some damn ID," she repeated. I and Phoebe pulled out our student cards. Ziggy, of course, didn't have any ID with him. "We better take this one to the station," Ratchet barked to Waters. "No, he's with us," I attested. "His name's Sigmund Siegfried Jones, and he's going to Dixie Lee Ray High School." Officer Waters holstered her phone and came over and started patting us down again. Just then, the waitress from the cafe came down the street. "Those guys ran out of bail. $4.97. "Is that right?" asked Waters. "No, it wasn't us. It was him," said Ziggy, very helpfully pushing his dreadlocks out of his eyes. "Pond scum," I said. "Officer," said Phoebe, "he wasn't trying to not pay. He forgot he didn't have any money when he ordered. He didn't have any money either. He was just going home to borrow some money from his mom." "That's right," I said. "My wallet got stolen, and I didn't even get to drink my espresso. Some jerk knocked over the table and it spilled. I was going to pay, I swear to God." "Are you going to press any charges for $4.97, said Sergeant Ratchet to the waitress. "Well, not if they pay up within 24 hours, said the waitress. "Okay," said Ratchet. She turned to us. "But I'm going to have to turn you over to one of your parents or a responsible adult. Get in the cruiser. Throw the bike in the board in the trunk." Bike in the trunk? The three of us got in the back seat, just as I got in after Ziggy and Phoebe. Guess who should ride by in her mom's silver Jaguar XK8 convertible driven by her mom herself, and see us getting in the cop cruiser? Right. Susie and Karen. Brilliant. Susie pointed, Karen looked, and they both laughed hatefully as Miss Blethens drove away. Could it get any worse, I asked myself. Officer Waters swung into the jump seat in front and immediately started talking on her cellular phone again. Sergeant Ratchet looked back at us. "Okay, whose house are we going to?" "Not mine," said Ziggy. "I don't have a house." I guess we could go to my house." "Oh, I guess we could go to my house," said Phoebe. "Except I don't think anyone's home from work yet. My dad's works nights, and..." "What about you, kid?" Ratchet said. "Oh, God. Okay, I sighed. I told her the address, so Ratchet got in the car, punched on the flashing lights, and squealed out onto Roosevelt and headed across the University Bridge about 1,000,000 miles an hour. As we drove onto the bridge, rolling under the lofty, clouded, caped green metal arches of the trestle, we gave a half-hearted wave up to Wendy's control tower. On the canal below, we saw a bunch of ships backed up waiting to pass under the bridge, clanging bells and honking horns, and a bunch of cars backed up on the sides of the bridge. "Hang on, you guys," hollered Ratchet. "We're gonna cut through this mess." Sergeant Ratchet turned on the sirens and gunned the engine while the white Chevy cruiser raced down the yellow divided line of the street past 4 lanes of backed-up traffic. Suddenly we could see the praying mantis yellow barriers unfolding and amber warning lights blinking, the bell dinging, and the bridge deck starting to split apart and rise in the air. "Oh my God!" yelled Officer Waters. "They're raising the bridge! Hit the brakes! Hit the brakes!" "I can't! I'm going too fast!" cried Ratchet. "I'm gonna try to run it!" "Oh, Lord, I can't look," cried Officer Waters, hiding her eyes. "Goodbye, my friends," Ziggy yelled. "You'll never know how dear you were both to me." "All right, go for it," Phoebe cheered. Sergeant Ratchet stomped the accelerator as the cruiser zoomed toward the center of the bridge. The two halves of the graded bridge deck, like giant Jurassic jaws, were steadily yawning open, higher and wider. Our cop limousine burst through the yellow barrier arms. We went sailing up in a graceful arc, and then suddenly, sickeningly, we were suspended in space for what felt like an eternity. There are times, they say, when time stands still. This was one of those times, like in a stop-action photo or an episode of The Tales from the Crypt. The car hung suspended between the two halves of the bridge deck. The lake surface twinkled and smirked far below us. My stomach lurched like I was on the tilt-a-whirl at the Fun Forest. Then, just like in a movie, the car gracefully arced forward. The wheels bounced down on the other side of the deck. The car shot down the slope, hit the flat, and zoomed down out onto East Lake Avenue. Motorists waiting for the bridge to come back down screamed, whistled, cheered, and gave power salutes out their car windows as the cruiser screamed past them. "Woo-wee!" screamed Officer Waters. "That was some driving, girl. Give me some skid," she hollered. She and Ratchet slapped 5 about 10 times. "You guys all right in the back?" Officer Waters asked us. Ziggy had fainted dead away. Poor guy, he's like that in a crisis. Okay, that was chapter 9. That was an exciting chapter. It's not very professional on a police standard, but hey, for story-wise, I enjoyed it. They made it across the bridge. I'm sure it wasn't open all the way. It was just opening, so they probably got like 2 feet of air. I don't know. But, yeah, poor Ziggy. He couldn't take it. He just passed out. So, yeah, I wonder what's going to happen next. Is he going to go to jail for $4? For $4 milkshake? Is his mom going to... Well, of course, she's going to be upset. But, I don't know. His mom seems pretty cool, so I'm sure that she'll... be cool about it. I mean, upset, of course, but still not like some parents. But yeah, I think there's a point where it's kind of like Keanu Reeves in that why can't I think of the movie? Bill and Ted, where they don't like try to send him to military school or whatever. Military school? Lame. So I don't know if that happens in this, but because I've read this book before, I just can't remember. I was like 12, if that. So yeah, there you have it. Reading with Drew episode, chapter 9, DogBreath Victorious by Chad Henry. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a pretty quick one, but that's okay, because it's Monday and I've got lots of stuff to do, okay? I'm a very busy gentleman. Doing dishes and laundry. Very busy. Very busy. Okay. Have a good day, y'all. Make that money. It's Monday. Go make it. Out of your jobs. Go do your jobs and making money. Do it. Do it.